In today's episode, Mona and I are going to be talking about a beautiful color, and that is the color black, and why it is such a fantastic color to be exploring in your creative practice. We're also going to be talking about collage and how collage can become the language of your heart just by exploring paper, glue, and scissors. It's an amazing supply, and I know that after this discussion, you're going to be reaching for a magazine. So let's get into it.
Gotta get messy and show the world you growing as an artist. And you're free to be yourself. You got a dream, you need to start it. Stick together. Get messy says you're formally invited to a community where you can find people that spark the field of excitement. Too many art supplies, not enough time. No, it's tougher, so you must find a way to feel some connection. We got a lot of people with the same kind, a great mind. We here for you, a platform so we can hear your views. Time's yours, forget chores. I know you bored of them same rules.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Get Messy podcast episode. Today, we are going to be chatting to Mona, and I am just thrilled to be able to spend an hour hearing about Mona's practice and her creative journey. Thank you so much for saying yes to joining me, Mona.
Thank you so much for having me and for inviting me. It's very exciting for me today because, of course, this is my first podcast. I'm the first time talking in English for such a long time. And I'm so excited. So let's get started.
Awesome. Do you want to maybe introduce yourselves to people that are listening that maybe don't know who you are and what you do?
Of course. Hi, my name is Mona. I'm 39 years old. I'm from Germany. I'm an artist and I'm an interior designer. I started my freelance business 1.5 years ago because I want to concentrate more on art and on art journaling and less on interior design. So for 1.5 years now, I'm doing a lot of art journaling, a lot of exhibitions, and also a lot of workshops. So I really like doing all the workshops on Get Messy and the Hangouts, but also in real life, the workshops here in Germany. And right now, so this is my work, and I can do art every morning. It's my kids come back at 12 o'clock or at 1 o'clock from school. So I only have the mornings to do my art, to do my work, also my interior design. But at the moment, this is enough for me, and I'm happy to have these hours for me and my work.
That is amazing. So I'm sure it's been a bit of a journey into learning to balance work and art and all the different balls and hats that one has to wear.
Yeah, of course it is. Because I think for many people, this isn't a real job, or it's not worth spending so much time with it. But for me, it is. And I think it is also very, very important for me. So I need to challenge the way between doing some interior design jobs and doing the art jobs, because we all have to pay our bills and we all have to balance where we can get the money from or not. But I think it's working quite well. And I hope that if the kids get older, I can expand my art time or my work time. So that's the plan. And then I can, perhaps in some years, I'll be back at a full-time job artist.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember that life has seasons, right? So
Yeah.
every season looks different, and you've just got to make the most with the season that you're in.
Yeah, I think that's so true, because some years ago I was a little bit frustrated because I thought, oh, there will be no time for art. There will be no time for work. I only have to do like households and kids stuff and running errands and what you have to do. But then I realized, oh, just perhaps you just celebrate the years you have where you can live like that, because it will change sooner as you like that it will change. And I
Yes.
see
Yeah.
they start to not needing me that much anymore, and I can do art, or they do the art with me together. I also like that. They come in my studio and like to work, and they want to look all through my papers and my collage bits and start to do their own stuff. And they have their own art journals since they were, I think, 3 or 4, and it's so cute to see them. It's like glued together stuff they found, and yeah, precious
I love
memories.
that you
So,
exactly right. I love that you're
yeah,
instilling that love for being creative from an early age and including them in your practice, so that it
yeah,
doesn't become something that mom does, but something that everyone can do. You
yeah,
know, that's
yeah.
beautiful.
Sometimes I
Oh, I
can't
love
find my stuff because they just bring that to their rooms, because it's right next to my studio, the kids' rooms, and just grabbing the glue and the scissors, and I'm just okay. You can have everything, but you have to bring it back. But I think that will get better too from the years.
No,
So,
I've got bad news for you. No.
okay.
I'm at the point now where if I can't see it, I don't even look for it. I just start going,
Yeah.
where is it? Where is it? Bring it. And then like sometimes every now and then they come in and they're like, Mom, it's over there. Did you not see
Yeah.
it? I was like, no,
Yeah.
I didn't even look for it because I just assumed you had it. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, they continue to just take all the things.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's so nice that I just remind myself like they're enjoying the supplies and they're enjoying creating along with me. So if I need to look for something every now and then, it's okay. You know, sometimes you're like, can't you just bring it back? But yeah, it's a small price to pay.
Yeah, I think so. It's just when they sell
Yeah.
you like cardboard houses with your good washi
Mhm.
tape,
Yes.
and then I'm like, oh,
Yes.
okay, can you just use the cheap one, please, and not the good one? But it's cute, I think.
Or when they leave the glue open and it hardens, or like a tube of paint, and you've just got to,
Yeah,
you know, get rid of it. It's that's painful.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So have you seen that your interior decorating has had an influence on your art, or your art had an influence on your decorating?
I think so, because I think the design of a page, I think I'm very into like irregular numbers, or the golden cut. Is it the golden cut in English? I don't know. How you place your focal points,
Yes.
or yeah, how you work. I think this is so deep inside me, like from the years of working with it. So I will always use this, but not
Mm.
but just like from the inside, not by, oh, I'm doing it like that right now, but I'm just like to do that. And I think for me it's easier also to choose colors or color combinations, because we learned that when I studied, we learned that a lot. So I think this is very intuitive for me to work like that. And I like a very simple design when I do interior design, very pure, and less is more. So I think this is also, you can also see that in my pages, that I like a lot of white space and not too many details.
Oh, but I love your style. It's very, very distinctive, right? You can see a Mona spread from anywhere. So I love that you've been able to find your creative voice and express it so clearly. Have you felt like it has always been there? Has your style always been there? Or was that also a kind of learning curve that you had to go through to find what it was that you loved and how you wanted to express that?
I think there was a lot of learning, because when I started art journaling, I didn't know that it was art journaling what I was doing. So I came from, I did art in school. I did my final exams in school in art, and I wanted to study art. Um, but this didn't work out. So I studied design, interior design, and I got lost. I got lost off the track with doing art because there was so much time I need to do my studies, and then I did work a lot before the kids, so there was no time for art. And then I started some, lettering and something like that. And I had a good teacher, and she was saying, okay, you need to do a little bit every day. So grab a journal or do your own journal and do just a little bit of writing every day. And I started to do the writing, and I got bored soon because I thought, okay, it's just writing. I need to add something. I need to do more. And then I did some like glue stuff on it, and I was like, oh, that's good. What am I doing here? It's a journal for my writing and gluing on something. And then I started like to watch on Instagram or in the internet. Okay, but are there other people's doing that, and what are you doing? And then there was, okay, that's called art journaling. I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw people doing their pages and doing their spreads. And then I saw, oh, they're doing like coffee dyed paper. I need to try that. Or they're doing whatever, like stamping or stitching. And I think I tried a lot. And I always came back to the things I liked. So I think this is there's a huge variety you can try. And I liked, and some kind of things I didn't like, so I didn't do them again. And I think in the end you come to the pages you're doing right now, but I don't know how they will look like in 1 year or in 2 years. Perhaps there's something completely different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exciting to be on a journey where we're constantly evolving and constantly
Yeah.
gaining knowledge and inspiration, and just yeah, there's a transition that happens. I don't think our art should look the same forever, but
Yeah.
it is quite interesting that the changes are sometimes so subtle that you don't notice it. But as you say, a year from now, you might look back and be like,
Yeah.
wow, it's totally different. But it wasn't
Yeah.
that you consciously made a choice to change
No.
something.
No.
Mm.
No. I think there's something, then I realized, oh, I don't have the time to spend too much time on one spread.
Mm.
And then I was, okay, but I have two choices: to stop it, to not doing it, or to do a spread in a shorter time, or try to do it more quick, to even do your art, even if it's just a little bit. So I think that's the reason why I use a lot of collage elements, because I think for me it's a very fast way to express what I want to express. And I don't use that much liquid colors because I'm like, I can't wait to try to let it dry. So I need to be very quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you find your supplies or the ways you want to work.
You also need to be aware of listening to that voice, right? And saying to yourself, what are the limitations that I have got? Like what is the boundary within which I can work? And
Yeah.
sort of allowing yourself the space to do it, right? Because you could easily have fallen into the trap of, oh, it needs to have so much detail and it needs all these
Yeah.
layers, and I have to use inks and paints and whatever.
Yeah.
And it could have led to you feeling so discouraged that you were just like, well, I'm just going to have to give up because I can't create like that. But you had the courage to say, no, how can I do this differently?
Yeah, but I think, I've been there. I've been to all these, oh, I need to use the colors. I need to use like ink, and I need to use all this stuff. And I I also bought a lot of stuff I didn't use in the end. So I would always recommend, you don't have to buy all the things you see in the videos or in the internet, somebody using like the perfect ink or the perfect watercolors. I think you don't need all of those. that stuff. I like to go to workshops and to journal hangouts or something like that, because I think I can try out supplies from other people and not have to buy all of them. So they all bring different kinds of stuff, and you can try it out. And sometimes there are very good things they bring with them, and I can buy them afterwards. But I think it's important that you know that you don't have to buy all the things you see to create a good page. And this is also why I really, really like travel journaling, because I really like the limited supplies I can bring. And most of the time, it's only glue and scissors, and of course, a black pen and a magazine. And most of the time, I don't even bring the magazines. So I just buy magazines in the country I travel to or the city I travel to, and use that for my art journals. And this is what I really enjoy, the limited amount of supplies. I think this lets you work faster, and I don't have to choose like between all the possibilities you have.
I also think that it leads to being more creative, right? Because you've got to find a way to work around something. So if you had all the
Yeah.
supplies, it's very easy to, number one, get paralyzed by choices because there's
Yeah.
just too much to choose from.
Oh, yeah.
And number two, you don't need to be as creative because everything is there, right? Whereas if you limit yourself, you have to find new solutions. And that often, I think, leads to exciting art making because
Yeah.
there's a different kind of creative energy in spreads where you have got like bare minimum.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
And I think
mm,
for me, it's easier to focus my
mm,
thoughts on what I want to express if I don't have that many possibilities. But sometimes I really enjoy getting out all of my supplies and
mm,
have a look, oh, what do I have? I also do a clean out quite regularly, because
mm,
I don't like all the broken pens and all the stuff I don't need. So I can give it to the kids. They like it, to get some new watercolors or something I don't need anymore. And I also bring the stuff to my workshops that I don't need anymore, so the people can take it. I
mm,
think that's also a very good way. If I collect too many collage papers, what I do at the moment, there's like a big basket in my bag. I bring all the papers to my workshops so the people can grab whatever they want to, and I'm free of the stuff and they are happy to
mm.
have it. So I think that's a win-win.
Yeah, I love that idea. That is just, that's so nice because the magic of someone else's papers is, there's just nothing
Oh,
like it, right?
yes. Oh, I love that. It's like, I mean, it's such a gift if you do some
Mm,
collaboration or something, and then you get like a small paper bundle, and
yeah.
the person just picked it just for you, and that's so precious, I think.
I often remind people, when we do swaps and things like that, that you find it very ordinary. Like you've seen that paper drifting around your studio and it's your marks and
Yeah,
your colors. And
yeah,
so often people are like, but would they even want my papers? What if they don't like them? And I'm like, they're going to love them. So let's go back to the supplies. I love the fact that you were
yeah,
saying don't go out and buy all the supplies in the beginning, right?
yeah,
Maybe one
yeah,
or two things, try them out, see what you like, and that'll give you a better idea of what the next step is if you wanted to add to your supply stash. So I think that's a good starting off point for someone who's wanting to get into journaling or is a newbie.
yeah,
Don't go out and buy all the things.
yeah. I think so, because if you
Mm,
go in a shop and there's like the whole variety of everything, and I think it's also quite expensive to get,
mm,
if you say watercolors or acrylic colors or good brushes, and I think you can be overwhelmed or even stopped doing art by choosing all of the supplies you think you need to have.
mm,
So I think there's a very limited amount you really need. I think good scissors are important. I think, and even my best scissors, I think it's a German brand, but it's a pack of two, and it's like €6. So it's very, very cheap. But I think it's the best
mm.
scissors I ever had. So you need scissors, you need a glue stick. I
Mm.
always buy the cheap one in the supermarket because I also think this one is the best.
Mm.
So you can start with, I think, a very, very cheap starter
Mm.
pack.
What type of things do you like to include in your journals?
Um, I like, of course, I really like magazine paper in all its ways because sometimes I use the paper from magazines to get like the um, good color combinations, or only, for example, the sky. I think the blue, the different shades magazine papers have. I like that. And I really like all the wrappings. You know, if you get some parcels or
Mm.
something, the wrapping paper or something. This is also for free. Yeah. And
Mm.
I like if right now even friends start collecting stuff for me. I think this is so cute. Or
Yes.
or even my husband, if he finds something when, I don't know, somewhere on the street or when he's traveling, he's like, "Oh, look at this piece of paper. I think this is beautiful. Do you need it? Do you want it?" And I get friends giving me, like, they collect it in little bags, and from time to time when we meet each other, they're like, "Oh, look, I got a little bag with paper. Do you need it?"
Oh.
And I think that's so cute. And even my mother-in-law, I think she's doing, like, she's always bringing magazines
Oh.
from her travels, or when she gets like the Vogue or something. And I'm really happy about that because I get a
Wow.
lot of material from many people. So I think this is also a good way. Just tell the people you are
Mm.
journaling. I'm looking for interesting kinds of paper or old books. Before you throw it away, just ask me if I need it. Or I have old
Mm.
magazines. Ask me, I need them. I think this is also a good way to get
Mm.
material for free.
Everybody has got different ways of looking at things, right? So the pieces that you get might be
Yeah.
completely unexpected and just something that you love that you wouldn't have had if it wasn't for somebody else gathering stuff for you. Okay, so I love to ask everybody if they could work with one color and what would the color be and why? And I often try and guess what the color is going to
Okay.
be before they answer, but I have I don't know what your color is going to be.
It always would be black if it's my own only color I can use for the rest of
Mm.
my art journal time, because I think you can do a lot with black, because you can draw
Mm.
lines, you can do marks, you can do the writing very good. And I think it's all I need on my pages. If I can choose, i can I would always take a black pen and collage material, and then I'm done to do my page. So, I
You
really
stay.
like neon colors, and I like the neon pink and the neon yellow. But if I had to choose one, it would always be black.
Mm. I love that you mentioned neon pink and neon yellow because that's why I was like, which one would Mona choose? Because I knew it would be black, neon pink, or neon yellow, but I wasn't sure which one was going to win. Those are like your signature colors, right? And the way you combine them, it always looks different, but it's got that touch of signature. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't sure which one would win out of the three. But black makes sense. Black to me, I can totally see that. And when you said black, I was thinking, didn't you have it was your Get Messy class, right? Where you were
Yeah,
celebrating black?
yeah. It was the
Mm.
essence of black. It was all about black
Yes.
and black marks and black
Mm.
magazine elements. And I think it's so interesting if you just concentrate on one color and you're looking through magazine pages or your collage pages, or only create marks with one color. I think there can be something very magical, because you don't
Mm.
have to concentrate on other colors, but on the marks or on the elements you find. So I really like that lesson. I think that was good, and I love the pages that people created.
You inspired everybody to look at black differently, right? And in the community, there were so many people saying, "Oh, I can't get enough of these, like the black pen details that they were doing, and the little doodles." And everybody was looking at black and just falling in love with it. And I think black is sometimes a color that is like a big no-no, especially
Yeah.
people that are sort of in the real art world, if we can call it that, like black
Yeah.
isn't a color and you need to
Not a
use all
color.
sorts of other colors to make black and, blah, blah, blah. I know for me
Yeah.
personally, I've had comments on my art where people have said to me, you shouldn't use black. Like I
Really?
had one woman who said, my sister is a fine artist and she
Oh,
sells work professionally. And that's why I know that you should not just be using black. You need to create other colors. It's a combination of things and blah, blah. Yeah. So I have had that
yeah.
where people are like, no black. So it was so good in the community to see people going, oh, I'm allowed to love black.
Yes, you are. And
Mm,
I think that's so limiting. I think
mm,
you should do whatever you like to do and try out whatever makes you happy. And if it's black on your page, just do it. Do use the black and
mm,
call it whatever you want to call it. Color or not color, I think that doesn't matter.
mm,
If you're happy using it, you should use it. And I think that's the beauty of art journaling, because you can do whatever you want. It's just for you and just for doing the art. Yeah, and I think it's so important that you not got
mm.
you don't take it by heart if you're
Yes.
criticized in a way like that. I
Mm,
think what I can, the people are not telling me directly, but I can hear a lot in their voice that it's like, oh, that's not real art. And even collaging
mm,
is, it's not real art to use pictures that are already there,
yeah.
cut them out and put them together in a different kind of way.
Mm,
And I can feel a little bit of ache in my heart when they say something like that, because for me it is a very important part in my life. But
mm,
on the other hand, I say, okay, I don't care. It makes me happy. Um, many people enjoy it, so let's go on doing
mm,
it. And there's also no pressure of sharing your art. So I do a lot of journal pages or journaling I don't share, um, because sometimes there are personal pictures in it, or some writing I don't want other people's to see. So
mm,
I think the most part of it is, it's like it's art for me and it's helping me for many different reasons. So if you say it's art or it's not, I don't care. I don't care anymore.
mm.
So
In the beginning, one feels a lot of pressure to try and
yeah,
make stuff that people
yeah,
like, and the comments really do affect you. Uh,
yeah,
but I think what you've touched on now is your why. Like, why are you creating this art? Why do you
yeah,
want to express yourself like this? And if you've got that in mind, you can overcome this pressure a lot
yeah.
quicker, I think.
And I think there are two very different kinds of art. For example, what I do, my main thing I do is art journaling. And I think it will ever be art journaling, because that's
Mm,
something I really do for me. And to, I'm not very good in words, like writing words, or, for example, journaling. I would not be that good, but I can express myself by using colors or paper. So for me, it's a very healing process to do art journaling. And on the
mm,
other hand, I create art that I want to put in exhibitions, that I want to sell. Um, but I think that's a different way for me. So I don't do art in my art journals that I do in a bigger size for an exhibition. I don't do that. For me, art journaling really is journaling for me. And I like to
yeah.
share some pages, and there are many pages I don't share.
Mm,
So, for example, travel journals, or I got a Christmas journal where I only do some pages every year for,
mm,
it's the 9th year now. I started it when my
mm.
first kid was born. So I really like that. It's such a good memory keeper too.
It's going to be a treasure to be able to look back on over, as the years continue.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a bit about the work that you create for exhibitions and for selling? How do you
Yeah.
go about creating those pieces? How do you gather inspiration for them?
I work together with an amazing artist. It's Christine, and we're always working all around one topic. So, for example, the last thing we did was about the. It's difficult to translate it in English because it was all about the size we have as a woman, the size we have inside us, and how we want to be seen by others
Mm.
as a woman, particularly. And I love to work with a big topic. So we had like freedom, home. We did work about home. And then we do an exhibition afterwards. And we really like to do that. I also always do an art journal within those weeks we work around one topic. So this is the place where I collect all my thoughts or ideas in it. And sometimes I also like to put these art journals in the exhibition too. So in the last exhibition, there also were 2 art journals, like only 2 pages opened up for the people to see how I work.
And do you
Yeah.
guys work together in the same space while you're creating, or do you choose the topic and work independently of each other?
We choose the topic, and then we work on our own spaces. And then right before the exhibitions, we meet and we put all together most of the time on the floor and just try to create an exhibition out of it. And most of the time, we don't even show some pictures before this
Okay.
days. So we only do it right before, and it always works out quite well. So because we always try to combine our work, so we don't hang like hers on the left and mine on the
Mm.
right. We always combine them and hang them together, and I think it's a good way to, it's an interesting way to work.
I love
Yeah.
that you don't show each other the pieces before the time because
Yeah.
it's easy to get into your head, right? If you are
Yeah.
working in a collaboration project where you know people are going to be seeing the work and being able to sort
Yeah.
of do a side by side comparison, one can
Yeah.
very easily start to overthink things and be like, oh, but she now used this color. What if I use the color? Is it going to be like I copied her? And, so by
Yeah.
keeping it to yourself, I feel that you can have a more authentic way of creating and then bringing it together at the end. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
It's always special and it's always very meaningful for us. So I hope that 2025 will have some good
Mm,
projects. So we have nothing planned yet, but I think there will be
mm.
something exciting.
Are you doing predominantly collage then on those big pieces? What mediums are
Yeah,
you using for your exhibition work?
I think it's mostly collage. Um, we like to collage on different kind of, sometimes it's a plate or whatever. I got a measurement tool, I put on collage or whatever we can find. Um, Christine does the collage on the books. It's also good on the book, on the outside of the book, and then she displays it. It looks very good. So we both work mostly with collage. I had
Mm,
some. I tried out something different, like stitching or something, but these are single pieces popping up. I think the
mm.
most thing I use is collage.
So, do you actively look for opportunities to have exhibitions? Is it a
Yeah.
goal to have one once a year, or um, are you sort of wanting to, do you enter other exhibitions or do you only create your own exhibitions? What does that look like?
I need to look after possibilities for
Mm,
exhibit, because right now this is part of my job, and I also want to sell some pieces, and I want to get in connection with other artists. So I
mm,
think I always have a look if there are any open calls or any possibilities. Like Munich is a very, very good city for artists, and it's a big city, and you always can find some possibility to apply for an exhibition or something. So the last one was also sponsored by Munich City, and this is very supportive. Also, the climate one in January is sponsored by Munich City. So on the other hand, we try to do it on our own, but this is a little bit more difficult. We got a little cafe in the town I live, and we are able to display there, and we are also allowed to sell some of our art there. Little pieces, cards, or little collage pieces are always available there. And I think you need people supporting you and supporting your art and giving you the opportunity to display your art or do an exhibition. But you need to try, and you need to keep on track. If you get a little bit lazy, there will be no exhibition and nothing.
And I think you need
to
courage too,
people.
to put yourself out there and to apply for something is not easy.
It's not, and I think that's always, the thoughts in your head. Oh, it's not good enough. Your art is not good enough. And the other thing is, the pricing is also a very hard topic for artists, I think, to find the right price for your art. What is it worth for you? What is worth for others? And then if you hear people saying, oh, no, I don't want to pay the price, that's too high. This can be hard, because for you, it's like, oh, that's the lowest, perhaps the lowest price. You want to give it away for that. And that's difficult. And to go out and say, okay, I am an artist, and what I do is art, and it's okay to get money for the art I'm doing. It's a process, I would say.
Yes, I agree 100%. And sometimes it's almost like a cycle, right? Sometimes you can feel, yes, I am an artist and what I'm doing is valid and it is good.
Yeah.
And then something happens and you have a little bit of a wobble and you think, am I really an artist? And it's okay. It's okay if you feel that way, because it comes around again, right? And then 2 weeks from now, you think, yes, I'm an artist and I'm going to enter the competition. So everything comes in cycles and waves. And so if you have a moment where you're doubting yourself, it doesn't mean you need to give up.
Yeah, it's the same with all the, creative blocks. I think once you realize it all comes in waves, you're not so scared anymore about creative blocks. Because the first times I had this, I was like, okay, I never can do art anymore. It's all over. It's like, oh my God, I messed it up. And then I realized, okay, no, there are times in life where you can't do that much art because other things are happening, and that's fine too. And then there are the seasons where you inspired by all and everything, and you could work like hours without eating and drinking. And I think these are the waves. And if you realize that this is completely normal to work like this, you're not so scared about creative blocks and overcome them.
Have you got some strategies for people that are maybe feeling like they're in a creative slump? How do you help yourself out of that feeling, or do you just sit with the feeling?
Yeah, I try to do something. So sometimes if I even don't do art journaling or creating a piece of art, what I always do is I do pre-cut pieces. So if I don't do anything, I take a magazine and do pre-cut collage pieces. That's a very simple, I can do it while watching a show or something, or drinking a cup of coffee. So it's not that deep art moment, but I think it keeps you going, keeps you taking like your scissors or something and put it in a box, put it away. And the other thing, what I like to do is, for example, the kids need to paint some pictures or want to craft something. And I think it doesn't matter what you do. If you do something creative or something with your hands, it keeps you going and it keeps you getting back to your creative spark. So sometimes, or I do the Christmas decoration at the moment. Okay, do the Christmas decoration, you do some Christmas crafting or something. Of course, this is not art journaling and this is not art, but I think it keeps you going. And sometimes I'm using like a ribbon, and for my Christmas, and I was like, oh, this could be a good closure for my next art journal. And then I'm putting it away, and perhaps this one inspires me later on to bind a new art journal. So I think keep going with something, doing with your hands is a good way.
Yeah, it sounds like you keep your creative momentum going. So it might not be at the speed of light, but you make sure that you do something small just to keep that, just to keep it ticking over, so that you don't come to a complete standstill.
Yeah, I think if you, that's a good way. Or for example, I'm doing a lot of Christmas cards at the moment. This is also something creative, and you know, there are also some paper pieces left where I thought, oh, I could use them later on in my art journal. So I think this is a creative process.
Yeah, I think redefining what creativity is important, right?
Yeah.
Baking cookies is creative. Just accepting that any acts in life can become a creative practice is something that I think can help people to realize you might not be sitting in your studio working in your journal, but the fact that you're out living, doing stuff is a creative act in itself. Thank you so much for chatting to me today, Mona. It has been such a fun discussion, and I have loved all the topics we've covered.
Very good. I'm so happy about it, and thank you for having me. It really was fun.